Out of here!
That was Vivek Ramaswamy getting mercilessly booed in Ohio. Vivek Ramaswamy is Donald Trump's hand-picked MAGA stooge running for governor of Ohio. There, he was speaking at the Young Americans for Liberty conference. That's a right-leaning, libertarian-leading conference for young Americans. Vivek was calling the audience whiners and saying, stop being whiners. Don't you want to be a winner? Then you need to have data centers in your backyard. He said that the people in the crowd were bitter, that they were envious, that they were jealous of people like him, and he was booed off of the stage. He said, my generation's going to be fine. We'll be just fine, as he was booed off stage. Let me show you as he was attacking the audience at this Young Americans for Liberty event, calling them jealous, envious, bitter, and whiners for not wanting data centers all over Ohio. Let's play this clip.
We've got, I'll tell you about it. Let's say data centers for a second. We'll hit this. I'm not against data centers.
We want them all!
The divide between winners and whiners. Between those who want America to win and those who want America to whine.
And then here you have Vivek Ramaswamy being heckled and booed. I'll show you this from this angle. Let's play this clip.
The truth of the matter is, no matter what happens in whichever direction we go, people of my generation have already made it. We're going to be fine. It's going to be your generation that pays the price.
You're a political cretin, and you need to get the fuck out of here!
So he had to cut his speech short. I'll share this with you as well. Another angle of him getting booed at various points during his speech. Let's play it. Now, Vivek Ramaswamy is running against the Democratic candidate, Amy Acton. Amy Acton has been traveling across Ohio, actually listening to people, not attacking the people in Ohio. According to some of the latest Ohio polling, I'll just show you the latest AARP polling and Impact Fabrizio, credible pollsters right here. They have Sherrod Brown, the Democratic candidate for Senate, up 48 to 45%. Then for the governor's race, Amy Acton, the Democratic candidate, is leading Vivek Ramaswamy 47 to 44%. This also follows news that Vivek Ramaswamy was hanging out in Paris, apparently popping champagne and partying on July 4th. He was not there in Ohio. And it seems Vivek's just traveling around the state of Ohio, attacking the people there and lying about Amy Acton. I mean, you have the current Republican governor of Ohio, Governor DeWine, saying that Vivek Ramaswamy's ads attacking Amy Acton are false and inaccurate. You have the former governor of Ohio saying that Vivek's ads against Amy Acton are absolutely defamatory. And you saw right there at this Young Americans for Liberty conference, which is, again, libertarian and right-leaning. This should be a receptive crowd for Vivek. He attacked the audience. He said, you're whiners. You're envious. You're just jealous of me. And the people were booing him, get out. And his speech got cut short. And his Trump and MAGA talking points are not working in Ohio. And of course, that Donald Trump's polling across the country right now is terrible. Trump's polling in Ohio is deeply underwater. And across the nation, Trump's polling is like 33%, 32%, 34% across the various polls. And across all crosstabs, and independent voters, Trump's like -22, white non-college voters, -8, total disaster. And the people of Ohio right now just despise Vivek and just these culture war. They want to know, well, who's going to fix this? Trump and Vivek and people like that are crushing this state. They're crushing the country. I want to bring in right now David Pepper. Amy Acton, who's running for governor of the great state of Ohio's running mate, Lieutenant Governor candidate David Pepper. Great to see you. So before bringing you in for this interview, I was showing our audience Vivek being booed at that Young American Liberty event. He was telling people, we need data centers in your backyard. Be a winner. Don't be a whiner. Data centers everywhere. You're out there right now traveling the country, speaking with young people, older people, people of all ages. And I see the cornfields behind you right there. Vivek wants to turn that all into data centers. And he's never polled worse, despite putting in tens of millions of dollars on these fake attack ads. Everything's fake with Vivek. We've learned that he went to Paris for the July 4th. Nothing says America like Paris on July 4th. And he was taunting those young Americans, those young folks from Ohio. I see you out there in the cornfield. Talk to us about what's going on, I guess, with Vivek attack. You're on a tour, Ohio, meet with everybody, bring people together. And I guess he's an alienate and attack everybody tour.
Yeah, it's bizarre, but it's why we're seeing that he's never been less popular in the whole election cycle than right now. This happened to him in Iowa when he ran for president. The more people heard it from him, the less they liked him because of meetings just like the one that you just were showing. He has this way of turning people off. He quickly starts name calling them. You know, and when we do, Amy Acton's been on a farm tour now for several weeks, and people are really concerned about preserving farmland. And there is a concern about data centers. So our priorities, we said, you know, the cost should never be shifted onto everyday people. If it's going to happen, if it should be on brownfields. Vivek is basically attacking people who are trying to make sense of all this as whiners. He did that to young people. He says people are envious of him. And so every time anyone's at all questioning, you know, what he's saying, he goes in this bizarre attack mode. And let's be clear, this was a conservative gathering that was booing him. This wasn't, you know, some liberal college campus. This was a conservative gathering. And even that room, he couldn't read well. And so he cuts his speech short, runs off the stage, but in the meantime, insults them over and over again before he does so. And that's why, again, he's struggling so much in Ohio. Crowd after crowd, visit after visit, he turns more people off than he turns on.
You know, it's been fascinating covering this race from the day Amy Acton announced I had her on, and following just where we're moving as a country, and following where you're moving as a campaign. And I brought you on when she announced you as her running mate. And so we've had these kind of moments in time. And at this moment in time, with Trump's never-ending war, with Trump, more golden ballrooms and gilded horses. Yeah. And, you know, he's never been less popular. And you've got someone like Vivek who's basically saying, let's turn Ohio into just a Trump playland. I mean, even the current governor, who's a Republican, Vivek's like, let's go wild right now and make this the Trumpiest Trump, and everyone's like, hey, this guy's lied about everything. He screwed us over. I see non-college educated white voters. Trump's a net negative 8 as I'm looking across the country.
Yeah, and that's happening right now to Vivek. You know, again, you mentioned it. July 4th, Amy and Acton and I were in Dayton. We were in Marietta. We literally, the next day, I was in Versailles, Ohio. He was in Versailles, France. So in every single way, he looks out of touch. But at some point, it's even worse. He looks like he's out for himself, and that's how Ohioans view him. This guy's invested to the hilt in data centers. So when he's saying we should be the Silicon Valley, the Midwest, and he's saying we should have them everywhere, it's not only looking like he's not in touch with people like where I'm standing, where rural Ohio is asking a lot of questions about what these will mean for their community. He looks like he's running for governor to serve himself. And not just himself, but, Elon Musk gave him $5 million the other day to his super PAC. He's got the billionaire from Philadelphia who wants to destroy public schools pitching into a super PAC. It doesn't feel like he's running for this position to help everyday Ohioans and answer their questions. It looks like he's out for himself and a few billionaires that are bankrolling all these ads he's using to attack Dr. Acton. But again, as I said, despite all that money, he's never been in worse standing with Ohio voters than he is right now. And we're 95 days to go. So he's a very bad spot. And with events like the one that you just showed, he seems to make it worse every single day. He can't help himself in person, but to turn more and more people off who see that he really is not a good fit to be governor when people are up to their ears in the costs that we're dealing with all around the state.
Right, Vivek popping champagne in France, giving American people the middle finger, returning, calling the Americans whiners, constantly attacking. I mean, I think Vivek is, someone who frankly just doesn't like the state. I don't think he likes the people of Ohio. I don't think he knows what happens in Ohio. The whole thing is so phony, and it's, fascinating. People are seeing through it. I see you, American flag, pickup truck, in the cornfield, speaking to the people. What are you here before we go? What are you hearing from the people of Ohio? What do you want our 7 million subscribers to take away?
Well, first of all, I would say that I agree with what you're saying. He doesn't seem to like Ohio or Ohioans. He's always insulting us. He's saying that the costs are perceived. He went to Michigan and said, Ohio's not the best state in Michigan. So at some point, it is an odd thing to ask people for your vote when you don't even seem to like the people you're asking to vote for you. But what are we hearing from everyday people? The cost of everything continues to explode on them. Gas prices, healthcare costs. We lost more people from the exchange than any state in the country. Childcare costs in Ohio are out of control. Property taxes are going up because they won't fund public schools from the state, and property taxpayers are being asked to make up the difference. Energy bills are going up, and that's why we announced some real regulations the other day and a conditional moratorium on data centers. All of this is to address this cost of living crisis, and the contrast couldn't be more clear. Most of what Vivek is proposing are things that would do him very well, like more tax breaks. And the theme of all of his proposals is guys like him do well, but Ohioans will always be the ones paying more. So it's a real contrast to what Dr. Acton's been campaigning on for 2 years now.
Where can people learn more about the campaign? Where could they learn more about where you're headed, all that?
Thank you. We'd love to get you to learn more about the campaign. If you want to contribute, we are fighting a billionaire. We are fighting Elon Musk. We need every dollar we can. We outraised Vivek all year so far by millions because of grassroots support. We'd love that support now. ActonForGovernor.com. If you can go there, learn more about Dr. Acton, pitch in what you can. We are beating this guy largely on the backs of grassroots supporters. We so appreciate it. If you can keep it going with 95 days to go, makes a huge difference.
David Pepper, lieutenant governor candidate, running mate to the great Amy Acton. You're the great David Pepper. She's also the great Amy Acton, running for governor of the great state of Ohio, a wonderful state, despite the fact that Vivek Ramaswamy clearly hates Ohio and the people who live there. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Take care. Talk to you soon.
Everybody hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers.
Before you go, our book, WTF America, is available for pre-order now. It's the story of how we got here and how we fight our way back. To pre-order, scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Let's do this.